Welcome back. Last month, the government outlined plans to legalise same-sex marriage in England and Wales by 2015. With this would come the inevitable change in the way marriage would be taught in schools, and this has caused some controversy.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Well, Anthony Ozimic from the Society for the Protection of Unborn Children,
You little pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
argues that the teaching of same-sex marriage in schools would undermine the meaning of marriage and promote gay lifestyles.
Journalist Kelly Rose Bradford disagrees and says children should be taught about couples in love, no matter what sex the couples are.
What do you think the impact is going to be on our schools then?
Well, we know from the existing legal duties that schools have that they have to teach about the nature and importance of marriage, and this will mean teaching about equal marriage, so-called same-sex marriage. And we believe that that will confuse and mislead children about the nature and meaning of human sexuality.
He's an asshole.
I always think that education should be sort of very open and very honest and sort of reflect society. Is that not what this is more doing?
Well, every society in history and every dictionary ever written in history has defined marriage as something which is heterosexual, so schools will be forced to teach something which isn't actually true.
Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
But history moves on and history changes. I mean, historically, if you look at sort of how women were treated in history, that's not something that necessarily would fit now.
Well, some things change and some things change and some things stay the same.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
And really the core of marriage has always been between a man and a woman open to childbearing, which is not something that applies to same-sex couples.
Why?
Well, because they can't have a child.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
But why can't they be married?
Well, because it's simply a category error that the sort of love that they have between them is not the one which is structured towards looking after children.
So
the whole structure of heterosexual marriage is based upon bearing children and looking after them.
So everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So presumably you would have the same opinions on couples who choose not to have children or couples who can't have children. How would you propose that children are then educated about those setups?
Well, in general, the tendency has been for married people to try to have children.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
It's very unfortunate if couples can't have children, but they're open to having children.
So what is your actual fear for marriage with a child like mine? I have a 9-year-old son. What do you fear for him will be the result of him being taught in school that some couples of the same sex might choose to make a public declaration of their love and their relationship in the form of marriage? What do you think? How is that going to have any relevance to relationships he might then have when he is growing up, or how he views other married people that he knows in his family and beyond?
Well, I think it will lead to a confusion about the natural ties that exist between...
You keep using this word natural. I don't quite get what you mean by natural.
Well, I think there are millions of people out there, teachers and parents, who don't believe that homosexuality is natural.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt now. You've always been a cunt. And the only thing that's going to change is you're going to become an even bigger cunt. Maybe have some more cunt kids.
And they don't want
Well, I can assure you that to somebody who is homosexual, it's probably going to be the most natural thing in the world. Perhaps if you're not homosexual, you perhaps might not feel it natural to be attracted to another man, or to, if you're a woman, another woman. But I think that's absolutely despicable.
Well, certainly not homophobic. We don't fear homosexuals, don't hate homosexuals. But
why must you turn my office into a house of lies?
Well, your propaganda is certainly
the effect upon
homophobic.
Marriage of this proposal.
Do you have children yourself?
No, not yet.
And if you were to have children, I'm assuming you're not homosexual.
Bullshit.
So if you were to have children, would you hope that your children would be able to come to you and discuss their lives openly and honestly?
Absolutely,
And
yes.
what would happen if your child said they were gay?
Oh God, he's gay. This is it. This is the gay call. I've been ready for this for years. No.
I would explain to them the truth and meaning of human sexuality, which is ordered towards childbearing, and that marriage is therefore a heterosexual institution.
You're a real boring fuck.
try and lead them away from the gay path. Is that what you do?
Yes, that's what I would do.
And you think that's possible, is it? Do you? You think that it's possible to do that?
Yes, I don't think homosexuality is something which is innate. I think...
So, but it would then...
Let me finish his sentence.
Yeah, I think something may have gone wrong in the person's development or experiences to lead them towards a homosexual orientation.
They wish to cure us, but I say to you, we are the cure!
And we need to explain to them truths of anthropology, of biology, which shows that heterosexual model is the correct model for the human race.
It sounds like terrifying Bible Belt America stuff that you're
Well, I
preaching.
haven't said anything about religion.
No.
I've just spoken about...
But it is part of religion. The argument that you put forward is part religious.
Well, there are many people of faith who will be very, very concerned that they will not be able to express the beliefs of their religion about marriage if this proposal goes through.
It's all over, people. We don't have a prayer.
And that the teaching in schools will be therefore restricted, and they won't be able to exercise a conscientious objection to the promotion of homosexual material in faith schools.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
If it's all based on having children, I mean, a gay couple can adopt. They can foster. I mean, there are many children that are in need of loving homes. I mean, we talk about it all the time here.
Yeah, well, I say that statistics show that the ordinary married family is the safest place, the healthiest place for children.
But this is real life. This is real life, real people's lives, real children that we're talking about. And so statistics will always be there, and you can bandy those around as much as you want. But to really, really, really honestly believe that.
Well, it is a question of statistics because we need to look at the evidence for what is best for children, and the statistics show that marriage based upon the heterosexual model and the family that flows from that is the safest and healthiest place for children. Both born and unborn children. There are fewer abortions, healthier children, happier children, greater stability for all the family members involved. So we redefine marriage at our peril and maybe at the expense of children.
Why don't you go home and fuck your mother some more?
Do you think that that if schools, and I should point out here that the Department of Education says schools have a requirement to ensure they do not teach anything that would be considered inappropriate to a pupil's age, religious or cultural background, and they must ensure pupils are presented with balanced, factual information about the nature and importance of marriage for family life and bringing up children. So that's the Department of Education, that's what they say. Do you part of your argument seems to be that you believe that teaching about marriage between homosexual couples would encourage children to be gay?
Well, we already have groups like the Terence Higgins Trust promoting material in schools which is saying that homosexuality is normal and it's fun and exciting to experiment.
What they're doing,
a whole range of experiments.
What they're doing is saying that if you are homosexual, then you can be. Don't hide yourself away. Come out, and you will be in a society that is understanding and tolerant in the 21st century.
Well, you're promoting it by encouraging people to come out, but it goes way beyond that.
So they shouldn't be encouraged to come out. They should be suppressing. So you're saying that teenage boys and girls who find out that they are gay, who know that they are gay, should remain.
No, I think they should talk to their parents. I think their parents should be involved.
Your mother sucks fucking big fucking elephant dicks.
And try to
and then
make
the parent
them understand.
then suppresses it, which is what you said that
No,
you would do.
I'm not saying suppress it, but nor should they come out and say, I'm proud to be gay, being gay is a good thing.
This man has no dick.
Why should they not say that?
Extraordinary that you're saying
Why
this.
should somebody not stand
Well, there are
and be
millions of
proud
people
of the
watching
way
this
they
program
are?
who agree with me.
Yeah,
there
I
were
can
hundreds
imagine
of
there are
thousands of
millions
people
who
on
do
the
not.
street of Paris on the weekend who agree with me. There are hundreds and thousands of people who signed the petition to the Prime Minister who agree with me. This is an obsession of the metropolitan elite. This is not reflecting Britain today.
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! Jesus Christ, I've met some dumb bastards in my time, but you outdo them all.
What you are doing, the only thing that you are promoting is homophobia. And I saw your documentation yesterday. You use phrases like homosexual lifestyles and practices, whatever. Actually, could you clarify that for me? Because, I mean, I've got lots of friends who would identify as homosexual. I don't think their lifestyle is really that different to mine.
Explaining lifestyles and practices.
But I would like you to explain what a homosexual lifestyle and practice is to me and why I should fear it for my child.
The Terence Higgins Trust information reflects
yes, but the Terence Higgins Trust aren't here to tell me.
The promiscuity, which is in fact very common among homosexuals. It's part of the homosexual lifestyle. And in fact, until a very few years ago, homosexuals are saying marriage isn't relevant to us because we wish to be sexually open to many different partners, many different types of practices.
You stupid fucking cunt.
You're saying?
Well, I'm staggered, actually. To be quite honest, I don't really know what to say to him, because I cannot believe what it is, you know,
but as
the judgments that you are making.
There are millions of people who agree with him.
Well, and there are millions of people that won't do. I just cannot believe that anybody would want their child to go into school and receive an education which was not relevant to the society that we live in, that is not a reflection of the people they will meet, is not necessarily a reflection of the person they will then become. You talk about confusing messages to the family and to marriage and everything else. What confusing message is that sending perhaps to a young teenager who is already having issues with their sexuality? If this is being suppressed, brushed under the carpet, they're not allowed to discuss it, and they're more or less being told what they are feeling.
No, I'm saying that I didn't say they
wrong.
weren't allowed to discuss it. I'm saying I don't think it's good to encourage teenagers to come out and say, I'm proud to be gay.
I'll rip out your eyes and piss on your brain.
I think there needs to be a correct
But when there's attitudes like yours around, I would be inclined to agree. But if we're living in an open society where there is equality, where we're not judging people and we're not homophobic, then, you know, people should be free to live their lives.
Well, you're in a minority
the way
in history and probably in a minority in the
well,
world.
you can't, yes, but as Holly said, history moves on. You're not in the. You may be in the minority in history, but not in the minority
well, sometimes
in the
history
world.
moves in the wrong way in some societies.
So I don't give a tuppeny fuck about your moral conundrum, you meat-headed shitsack.
In your opinion,
So we're against abortion.
Do
Abortion is something which is widespread. Abortion wasn't something that was common until the 20th century. History, in our view, has moved in the wrong way.
It doesn't matter what you think!
I would just point out that the government have said that teachers with a conscientious objection would be accommodated.
Well, they can say what they like, but the European Court on Human Rights is going to overrule that, and we've seen in Canada and Massachusetts where there have been cases of conscientious objection, where there have been parents who have been objecting to the promotion of homosexual material in schools, that they have been overruled.
OK, all right, well, we'll have to leave it there, unfortunately. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you both very much indeed.